What's up, good people? What's up, family? How y'all doing out there? It's me, KG, Kris Gardner, owner of the Houston Roundball Review. Local name, a global perspective. Got comments already in the YouTube section. Great to see that already. If you give me a moment to say to my mom, Elizabeth Gardner, may you rest in peace, mother. I love you. I love you always. She passed away to be with the Lord on June 15th at 10:15 in the morning. We will have our services next Wednesday, June 22nd. My mom is the reason why there is a Houston Roundball Review. I started that to be able to spend more time to take care of her. So now that she's passed away, we'll see how things go going forward. But thank you very much for your time. Thank you for what I've learned over these few months, going through books and scrapbooks and things like that. My mom went through a lot to just deliver me. So I'm blessed to be here. So she lived 79 years. I'm 50. So we're going to do this and do her proud going forward with Houston Roundball Review on YouTube and Facebook and Twitter and all those great things. So let's talk Rockets, good people. The comments. Who was the first person to get in the comments a little early? Joseph, was it Terrell? Thank you for the condolences, everybody. Thank you as always. Well, I know this is family, so we're going to keep it family here on Let's Talk Houston Rockets. Joseph, you're already talking about Eric Gordon asking when he's going to be traded. Well, according to colleague Mark Stein, Rockets are entertaining offers for Mr. Gordon. They're holding out for a first-round pick for Eric, so I'm kind of curious to see what team will give up a first-round pick for EG. But I think as it will be finalized on draft night, June 23rd, the Rockets-Mavs deal, sending Christian Wood to Dallas for 4 players who probably won't be Rockets once the season begins. I think that's a good indication that the Rockets are willing to trade Eric Gordon and really, really get into youth mode. So I think we had a comment earlier about keeping EG for veteran leadership and all those things. That's legit. But I think if the Rockets get a first-round pick, Eric Gordon will be traded. And there's a question of when that first-round pick is going to be. I doubt it's this draft. But the Rockets, Rafael Stone, are continuing apparently to collect assets, and assets as in draft picks. So if a team is willing to give up a first round pick for Eric Gordon and his $18 million this coming season, non-guaranteed next season. So get a first round pick for Eric Gordon, his veteran leadership, his scoring punch, his good defense. I'm kind of curious to see what team has a trade exception who could take him into that slot, because there's not too many playoff contending teams that have space to take on an $18 million salary. But it's out there now. Eric Gordon for a first-round pick. If the Rockets get it, the Rockets will trade Eric Gordon, which I'm all for it because, I don't want Eric Gordon starting anymore. And I was okay with EG just being a vet off the bench, being a mentor that way. But first things first, I got a few clips to play from media draft availabilities, pre-draft availabilities. The biggest one, of course, is Paulo Banchero, which all signs point to the Rockets getting Paulo with the 3rd pick in this next week's draft. Got a quick clip from Malachi Branham, but I'm going to start with a quick clip, not very long, but Jabari Smith, he made plain why he's only worked out for 2 teams, Orlando and OKC. So I'm going to play that clip, and then we're going to get into the Christian Wood deal to the Mavs. But I just want to play this clip because it's not very long. But Jabari Smith and his answers is an answer, not an answer. But here we go. Jabari Smith.
Have any others planned, but just knowing my thought going into it, I don't see myself falling below 2, and just keeping that mindset and just going into it. That was kind of my mindset going into it, so that's why I kept it to those 2.
Simple business. Jabari says I don't see myself going below 2, so why work out it for anybody else? Okay. It's business decision. Cade Cunningham did it last year. Worked out for Detroit. I think Jalen did it last year as well. It's business. So let's get into it. Derek, thank you very much for your condolences as well about my mom's passing away. She's been through a lot medically. So growing up, I know her neurologist used her as an example to how to live life, because there were times that I wouldn't thought she'd made it past my age of 12. So, and that was 38 years ago. So my mom was a tough lady. So she made it that far, lived longer than her sister, mom, and dad. So Elizabeth Gardner, this is for you going forward. Everything I do is for you, Mom. But Christian Wood, I really want to know, because last Saturday's late night with Kris Gardner, KG, Houston Roundball Review on Let's Talk Houston Rockets, many family members here on the show were discussing Christian Wood being a Rocket long term, as if they had read or saw that from some other outlets. Where was that? Who brought that up? I didn't ask about it then. I just tossed out the what if Christian Wood agrees to, $17, $18 million for an extension. Would y'all be good with that? But I was really curious as to where this all of a sudden came from, that Christian Wood was going to be a Rocket long term. Who suggested that? And whoever that is that person or people owning their muck up, their mistake, now that Christian Wood will be dealt to Dallas on June 23rd for Boban and Sterling Brown and Trey Burke and Marquise Chris and the 26th pick. Who brought that up last? Who was that? But it's neither here nor there. I'm just kind of curious. A lot of people on here were like, well, it seemed like Chris was going to be a long term. According to who? Because I said for a long time on these shows that Chris Wood, I thought, should be traded. But it was kind of weird last week. A lot of folks are just saying, well, it looks like Chris Wood's going to be here long term. Okay, well, those folks are wrong. But the deal, it makes sense for the Rockets because they're truly going younger. And I think it's also an indication that the Rockets don't believe Christian Wood fits with what they're trying to do long-term here. It makes sense for Dallas because they gave up 4 players that didn't play in the playoffs rotation at all for a guy in Wood who at least has some skills offensively that Dallas does not have. So he fits that. He's not a great defensive player, never has been. It's a question of, can Jason Kidd tap into that Christian Wood in Dallas? I'm not sure. Will Christian Wood sign an extension? I think Bobby Marks said the number is 4 years, $19 million per extension eligible? Or will Dallas say, no, we're going to ride it out and see what you can do for this season and see if you're part of what we want long term? So I'm kind of curious about all that. I'm also kind of curious if the Rockets, I look at it like this. How about this? Toss this out. The Rockets are, you can look at it like this. The Rockets are still not concerned with Christian Wood long term, that they traded him in state, in division and in state. So they're like, hey, you can go to Dallas, do what you want, but we're not worried about you long term. So go ahead, go play with the Mavs and Luka. But okay. So that's interesting right there from that point of view. I think Luka and C. Wood and pick and roll could be very, very effective. Christian Wood on defense, he's still the same dude. We'll see if he's still the same dude that got punked by guards here with the Rockets. If he does that same thing in Dallas, that won't help. If he's that same Christian Wood who runs from defending bigger players, that won't help. But offensively, yeah, he fits the Mavs. Defensively, we shall see. It's on him. It's on Christian Wood to be a better defensive player. First things first. The teammates can say all they want. Jason Kidd can say all they want. It's on Christian Wood to be better defensively. If not, then Dallas realizes what every other team in NBA who's had Christian Wood is. He's good for offense and not much else. So there we go. That's my thoughts on that. So Solo Dilo, what's up? KDC, Victor, how you doing? the 26th pick, Dallas will be making the pick for the Rockets. So the trade will be announced after the pick is made by Dallas. So, I understand why some outlets have changed the logos and the team because of the announced trade at 26 to the Rockets. But until the deal is announced, Dallas still has the pick. So for trade purposes and all those things, but yes, that is until it is announced, Dallas still has the pick, and Dallas will be making the pick for the Rockets, which gets me to wondering, and I had not had it confirmed, verified for me, because Dallas is picking for the Rockets, can the Rockets package the 26th pick and the 17th pick to another team and say, hey, Dallas, now instead of picking for us, I want you to pick for this team, this third team. Sandoval, how are you? Thank you for tuning in. Great to see the numbers drawn up. Any truth of Wood, Larry? I'm gonna put it up on the screen for everybody to see. Locker room cancer. I'll answer it this way. Larry, thank you for joining. You're a new name to the show. Thank you for your comment. Detroit not missing him. They don't miss him. And I know that for certain. They don't miss him. Rockets don't seem to miss him. I mean, they traded him in division, so they don't seem to miss him. So we can say, draw your own conclusion right there, Larry. But I know for certain Detroit doesn't miss him, and you could argue about the previous teams either. They don't miss him either. So offensively, he's talented. Yes, sure is. Defensively, he's not. And he's had some time here, post games, demanding touches, wants more involved in the offense and all of these things. And man, if you don't bust your butt on defense, why should we get really worried about you being a good teammate if you're not a teammate on both sides of the court? So, I'll be kind of curious. Nothing, but we could tell. Just look for it later on. You'll see little signs here and there from some of the players. And my man Eco wrote about it. C. Wood was not one of the Rockets here with the young core working out. That's also noticeable. The younger core, the foundation, I feel, for the Rockets going forward has been in town working out. Not Christian Wood. So I'm just saying that right there. So I'm not sure there'd be too many folks missing him. I think more teammates would miss Eric Gordon if and when the Rockets find a trading partner, a first-round pick for EG. But got comments about Paolo. I'm going to play this, and of course, more of it is available on the Houston Roundball Reviews YouTube channel. The NBA is holding NBA pre-draft media sessions virtually for some of the projected top players in next week's draft. Thursday, Friday, got more on Monday. I think Tari Eason and Chet Holmgren, and I think Jalen Duren and Mark Williams are scheduled for this coming Monday, the 20th. So see if we have more content and questions to those guys about the Rockets. Kind of curious to see if Chet gets any questions about working out with the Rockets. Just tossing out there one thing. Ousmane Dieng, my man, did not say anything. He was kept his card close to his chest. Asked him a couple times who he worked out with. I cannot say. I'm not sure I can say. Other folks said who they worked out with. So he refused. So do I think the Rockets trade put this up there from Allen, and they get the clip from Paulo. Do I think the Wood trade was the best the Rockets get? I think so. Which is another indication, I think, of how teams value Mr. Wood across the NBA. So I think so. Which is kind of interesting, a little different than what, Kelly Eco tossed out there. He just had some trade possibility, some scenarios. Nothing was concrete. He was just throwing some suggestions out there, like the Hornets and the PJ, and Mason Plumlee, for those at 13th pick. So I think so. This was probably the best they can get. But here we go. First clip. Well, second clip, because you missed it, Jabari Smith. Jabari said, I worked out for 2 teams, and that's it, because I'm not going below 2. But part of Paulo Banchero's Rocket-related answers will play right here. So this, I think, will make Rocket fans smile. So here we go. Paulo Banchero.
It went great in Houston, I wouldn't say there was a lot, too much talk about strategy and whatnot, just because I'm not officially there or anywhere yet, but it went well, talking to the coaches, the GM, saw a couple of the players, they have a young crew and, they want to play fast, space the floor, and they just see me fitting right in, with my playmaking skills and ability to, be anywhere on the floor, just put me around, they're talented guys and, trying to put us together and create something I think is a plan that they have. But like I said, we didn't get into anything too specific, but it went well though. The visit went well. Yeah, those are two extremely skilled, extremely talented players, both who I've known for a while. Kevin being from the same city, Jalen, just known him since early high school years, going to camps and stuff. And I feel like it would be fun, those guys are both unselfish, both seem like they want to win, and both, are exciting. So, if they were to add me to that, I think it would just elevate, them more, elevate myself, and elevate the team. So, yeah.
What are your thoughts on that? Are y'all happy about what Paulo says about his time with the Rockets, his potential connection with KPJ and Jalen? Y'all hyped about it? Y'all feel like it's a lock? Like Ulim believes Paulo to the Rockets with the 3rd pick instead of the Rockets tossing a curve out there and doing the Jaden Ivey or some guard or whatever like that. Y'all glad to hear Paulo and his answers? I thought, they were pretty chalk. It wasn't anything earth-shattering. He's well coached by his media people, which is good to see. So, because some of the young men, some of the answers, I got some work to do. I mean, very, very, very brief. At least Paulo put some thought into what he's going to say in his answers. But some of the others, they're young and we're learning. Grow into it. But Paulo, no C Wood, Paulo and LP. Thoughts on that? What are y'all excited about that tandem going forward? Paulo and LP, Jae'Sean Tate. KD's got to have a great summer to be considered for a starting spot. I think he's just best suited coming off the bench right now. Jae'Sean Tate, his salary slot is probably less than $2 million. So unless he signs a long-term deal, it's nothing expensive for the Rockets to give him that $2 million. So it's all good there. But Jae'Sean will be here. Y'all know how I feel about Jae'Sean. I think he's better suited coming off the bench in due time. I think that's going to happen. But Paolo to the Rockets at 3, I like that better than Jaden Ivey to the Rockets at 3. I think the Rockets making this trade, sending Christian Wood to Dallas, is another indication that they will draft Paolo or one of these tall, skilled players at 3, whoever it is, Jabari, Chet, Paolo. But, also heard Jae'Sean shooting well this summer. It's good. He's changed his form a little bit, tweaked it, streamlined it a little bit, which is good. But Jae'Sean's a worker. He's willing to work hard and minimize his weaknesses to get better. That's the kind of players you want on a team. Still doesn't mean I want to be a starting power forward on the Rockets, but him with an improved shot, especially from that corner 3, that's a good sign. Making them in the summer is different than making them in the regular season and then in the playoffs. But it's a start in the right direction. Another indication of the core of the Rockets, the foundation of the Rockets, is good, solid. These young men want to do what it takes to get better and win. And that should be a great sign for Rocket fans going forward. So if the Rockets packaging 17-26, like I said, I have not been because of how the pick is involved in the trade. You know, the Rockets, that 26th pick would have to be picked for whoever the team the Rockets agreed to trade for. So that's a lot more, complicated to it. So I'm not saying it can't be packaged, but right now Dallas will be picking at 26 for the Rockets. So if a trade from the Rockets will be involved with another team, then the Rockets got to clear with that team. Okay, who do you want Dallas picking at 26 for you, so we can package 26 into, all those kind of things, because 26 still will be picked by Dallas. Whatever. Trading it, rights to it, until draft day, the Mavericks are picking at 26 because technically the Mavs cannot trade it until the day that the draft starts. Okay, let's be clear on that. So toss out a few mock drafts in case y'all haven't seen anything like it or seen these mock drafts. I saw Walker Kessler from, NBADraft.net going to the Rockets. I don't know about that one. But let's see, was it 26? Yeah, 26. I think about that. Walker Kessler to Rockets at 26. I think that's kind of high. How about a guard? Wendell Moore from Duke, Dalen Terry from Arizona, wing, and Blake Wesley from Notre Dame. How about those three guys to the Rockets at 26? Or do y'all just want the Rockets to trade the pick, get the player and trade it and move on? Tari Eason, I think, should be there at 17 and be consistent. If he's there, I like the Rockets to draft Tari Eason at 17. Not Ty Washington like some folks have said. It's okay, but that's just not my preference. But let's see. You got the CBS guys, Rockets getting at 17. Their mock drafts: Dalen Terry, Ousmane Dieng, and Jalen Duren at 17. So taller players. I'm all for that. 17, Jonathan Gavoni at 17. I think he had Tari Eason, I believe. Yes, he did. That was a couple of days ago. So 17 more people seem to be in agreement. More folks seem to be in agreement that the Rockets will draft a wing or a big at 17. And then to do that, D, what's up? Caleb, how you doing? So at 26, if they keep the pick, you just go with the best player available at 26. So that's my thought process on that. But I hadn't seen Walker Kessler. Walker will get drafted. I'll be very surprised if he doesn't get drafted. Which leads me to another question I have for the family. I had it. This name was mentioned. I think Mike Will hit me up on Twitter. Let me answer this question right here. Tari Eason. I think both will be there at 17. I'd be surprised if they're not. Probably Tari Eason. Like his defense better fit. Rockets need defense more. But I like both names I put out there in previous shows that I like. Us at 17, Ousmane Dieng at 17, like Tari at 17. If both are there, I'd lean toward Tari Eason. But I think both would fit what the Rockets are trying to do. And I think they would have nice careers with the Rockets and help them win. Ron Harper Jr., second round pick, Victor. I think, yes, that is more possible. The Rockets could be picking that 26 for somebody else and then trade that pick to somebody, to get second round picks, 2 second rounders for somebody like Ron Harper Jr. So I think that's possible. Marjon Beauchamp has been a name out there. So those are 3 guys that I thought that I would pick for the Rockets if they weren't going to go with another big man like Mark Williams. Because if Mark Williams and Jalen Duren are gone, then Eason, Beauchamp, and Ousmane Dieng, one of those three, I think, would be good fits for the Rockets at 17. So just putting that out there. It's good to see, and I think Tari, he's one of the players who will be talking to media in the virtual sessions on Monday. So hopefully we'll get some more good comments from him about his workout with the Rockets going really, really well. So hopefully we'll get some more about that. Patrick Baldwin at 26. Despite his struggles at Milwaukee this season, ankle and not good guards, he's still getting some late first round discussion because of the potential. People still see the potential in Baldwin Jr. So that's possible. We shall see. Rocket workouts. Rockets have been very close to the vest. I think it's safe to say Oos has been one of those. Tariq has been one of those in workouts. You know, Oos he just shut it down. He just shut it down. I'm not sure I can answer. I cannot say okay, Usman, you feel that way, okay. But Nikola Jovic does not play defense, but he's 6'11", skilled offensive player, and he's like a point forward. You know, it's 6'11". But defensively, one of his biggest knocks is not sure what position he can guard in the NBA to stay on the floor. So Dominic Barlow at 26, seeing him toss around second round, probably mid-second round. So 30s to mid-40s with him. But I think he's a name that's getting more run to be drafted. So we shall see at 26. 26, if the Rockets get the wish list, you get Paolo at 3, another wing at 17, a wing or a big shot blocker like Mark Williams if he falls to 17. I'll take him over the wings. And then if you got another wing at 17, then just go with the best player available on your board. You know, if that's I'm not sold on Baldwin Jr. I mean, Rockets case, because it'd be the third first-round pick. Take a flyer on him at Patrick Baldwin Jr. Okay, offensively, you know, he's very highly rated coming out of high school. Freshman year in Milwaukee was just very disappointing. And just some of the things, you know, his teammates were not good enough for him to help him shine. I understand that. So then you got to visualize him with better players. Will he be a better player offensively and defensively because his effort wasn't there on occasion this past season? And, you know, I can't stand that at all. So, but potential is there. And he's got good height, good size. You know, he ain't 6'3". So I'm very good with that. So, you know, he's 6'10" with shoes, standing reach of 9'2" and a half. 7'1" 3/4 wingspan. So good. I'm good with that. Very good shooter. Good form on his shot. So he's just not. Let's see. How far do you think we could move up in the draft? I think if they're doing it, you got to be looking at the late lottery. You know, 12, 13 around there. So that'd be the hope if you could package. You know, want to do that, move up high to do it. But at 26, just get the best player available on the Rockets board, and whoever that might be. It won't. I'd be shocked if it's Kai Soto. I'll be shocked at that. So that's my next question. Why are so many folks high on Kai Soto? I think I've seen him in one mock draft from someone reputable. Okay, reputable, not just a fan, like a Kai Soto fan club. Okay, so that I'm distinguishing that. So, because most of them, I think SI had him at 49. That's the only mock draft I've seen him with. He's tall, not a great athlete. You know, get him as an undrafted free agent and do better that way. I think Silas, answer front runner's question. Silas has one more year for sure this season. And if the Rockets trade Eric Gordon, find a taker, get a first round pick for Eric Gordon. Then the Rockets are very younger without Wood and EG. So that could buy Coach Silas another season because they're getting younger and lack veteran leadership. So doing that, you want Coach Silas and the young players to show continued signs of improvement. So that's where I think that, if they're getting younger, then that could buy Coach Silas more time. Because the younger they get, the Rockets youth movement, they're not that's not an indication of them wanting to win immediately. That's not an indication of them wanting to improve with younger talent in the youth movement. So Kenny Atkinson backing out the Hornets, boy. If Michael Jordan hires Mike D'Antoni as a head coach, okay, won't have to worry about the Hornets defensively for a while. If D'Antoni is the next man up for the head coaching job in Charlotte, but that's their issue. At some point, somebody's going to give Sam Cassell a head coaching gig. Just wonder who it is. Hopefully, it's a team with a good front office, and give Sam a chance. Dalen Terry, 26. I could see that. He's like I said. I don't know what the Rockets trading Christian Wood for the 26th pick, for a late first round pick. They have someone in mind. Okay, they have someone in mind, either obviously to develop, or that another team has in mind that they could package in a deal to move up. They have something else in mind. Okay, so that Dalen Terry, isn't Dalen Terry the guy who can't shoot very well from three, but does everything else pretty well? Got good size. So it's just talking at 26, 6'7" in shoes, 8'10", reach 7-foot wingspan, like that a lot. Good length, good size. Not a great shooter yet, 3-point shooter especially. So, but 26, I'm waiting to see what happens. I'm not expecting, whoever the Rockets pick at 26 to have an impact this coming season. Even if first, if he's going to be a long-term Rocket, if he'll be a Rocket after Thursday, because that person might be part of another trade. So, what question? They didn't trade the kid from Arizona. Yeah. Okay. Here we go. Do a little everything with him, and at some times Arizona, he was their best player. Like that. Silas has picked. I'm still hoping to talk to Coach Luke. I won't put a timetable on it, but he asked me. He kind of put me on the spot when I saw him last Saturday. He's like, "When are you gonna have me on your podcast?" I'm like, "All right, Luke." I'm like, "I'm sorry." So working on that. JC Nix, Rockets like him. They like his future. They like him, per Fagan. JC Nix is a point guard. He's a pass first. Well, let me say he's a pass first guard. Whose offense needs work, shooting especially. But he's a pass first guard, and not many of the other Rocket guards can say that. So that is something that the Rockets are hanging their hat on right there long term. Now he's got to tighten up the body, slim down just a bit, but keep that pass first mentality. He's a strong young man, and improve his outside shot. But body frame, he can get in the paint, bang around. But Rockets keep adding guards. Then Daisha Nix long term gets further. He strengthened the bench because the core, as of right now, the core is still Jalen Green, Scoot, Josh Christopher. That's the core. That's your 3-guard rotation right there. And then Eric Gordon gone. which is I'm okay with that. Daisha Nix won't be part of that just yet. Garrett Matthews probably the fourth guard. Okay with, kind of. Wings that the Rockets can get, well, Usman, Dieng play defense. Tariq can play defense. All the guys are looking at 17 play defense. That's my perspective on them. That's why I like them for the Rockets. You know, Beauchamp, those guys play defense. That's what I want. But this interesting comment right here. Luka and Christian Wood should work well in that pick and roll. Should be great. And Christian Wood, it should not take very long for Luka to tell Christian Wood, this is my team. Don't get it twisted. This is my team. You do what I say. Okay, what I say goes here. And if Christian Wood has a problem with that, then we really know Christian Wood is a cancer. If he bitches about lack of touches in Dallas, man, okay, that's on you. So I just really believe the Rockets. This comment from Goyo. 3 first-round picks, 4 first-round picks last year. I've maintained it for a while. I'd be surprised they kept all of them. But then that was when they had 2 first-round picks in this draft. Now they got a 3rd. So I think you believe they have somebody in mind, you know, the package to move up for someone in particular. Who that is, not sure. But 7 first-round picks in back-to-back draft total, that's a lot. But like I said, if they do that, then that just really hammers home they are going young with talented players and are asking the Rocket fans to be patient. Because we're talented, we're very young, we're going to take our lumps, but we're going to be fun to watch. And are y'all good with that? Are y'all good with it? I'd still be shocked they keep all 3 first-round picks next week's draft. But are y'all good with that? Are y'all Rocket fans? Y'all good with 7 talented first-round picks? And if it means they only win 22 games instead of, I think some of us said 30, if it's just 25, if they still don't do anything, you know, they're not sniffing the plane. I don't see it, especially if they really go all in on this youth movement. Are y'all good with that? Usman has got to stay healthy. He stay healthy, he'll be in rotation. Well, he should be in rotation because if it's defense, Usman plays defense. Like it. Moves his feet well. Plays defense with his hands way too much on the perimeter. Got to break that habit. So then front runner. That could be. But I personally think they're going to trade at least 1, if not 2 of these picks. But I'm asking if they don't, and they have 3 first-round picks from this draft, plus the 4 from last year's draft, are y'all good with roughly half the team 20 years old, 2021? Are y'all good with that? And then, well, the answer right here could be this. It's all for Victor Wembanyama. That could be the plan right there. Because Victor will be the first pick in the 2023 draft. Yes. And what's the young man's name? I can see his name, Scoot Henderson. I think it's projected to be the 2nd pick after Victor. But it's Victor's and everybody else. Okay. Let me see. Let me pull that up. Who was that? I hope I'm not turning the Shaq. I think so. Yeah. I think so. I think that was C. Wood saying that. Yeah. I'm pretty sure about that. Yeah, I'm pretty sure that was Christian Wood saying that. And at some points this season, he kind of looked like Shaq with his struggles at the foul line. John, what's your question? What am I missing here? What do I think about what? Let's see. Paolo and Marjon Beauchamp. I can see it. I guess. Hey, I like Paolo at 3. Space trades. What's up with you? Let's see. Zion trade. Doesn't sound like it. It sounds like the Pels are just trying to work out the best possible clauses. I guess basically say weight clauses, physical conditioning clauses for Zion's contract that both sides can agree on. But all signs point to Zion said he wants to be there. They're going to get him, agree to an extension. Just got to figure out the parameters to make both sides happy. Both sides can agree. So, as of right now, anything can happen in 1-2 years, and maybe Pelicans realize that Zion doesn't fit there, and then they want to look to trades. But as of right now, as of this summer, all signs point to Zion getting an extension and just figuring out the money. So it won't be this summer. It doesn't seem like it's gonna be this summer. So everybody happy with Christian Wood being a Mav in 5 days? Anybody have an issue with the trade? Anybody disappointed, sad that Christian Wood won't be a Rocket long term? Anybody? I'm not sure how many we got. Any Christian Wood fans on here? Diehard fans? Anybody just crushed, devastated that Christian Wood will not be a Rocket past June 23rd draft night? And I'll say this and toss it out to change the subject real quickly. The Rockets are having a presser this Tuesday to announce a new partnership with Memorial Hermann Hospitals. I haven't heard anything about what it could be, but they're going to hold a press conference Tuesday announcing a new partnership with Memorial Hermann. So everybody seems happy with C. Wood, being dealt. No one's crying about it. H-Town said he said, or she celebrated when C. Wood was traded. So, like I said, most of the viewers and family on here are not Christian Wood fans. So most of them, I know y'all are happy. I was just surprised it happened so fast because, when I discussed it, interviewed Jonathan Fagan, and I asked him if he thought Christian Wood would be Rocket through February, at least to the deadline. And Jonathan said he said, I think he'll be gone before the season. Well, it's June. So point for Jonathan Fagan. So let's see. John O'Neal would trade 17-26 and Eric Gordon for a chance. Let's see. KPJ, Jalen, Marjon, Paolo, LP. Well, you don't need to do all that to get Marjon. Beauchamp should be there. One of those at 17 or 26. 17 for sure. 26. Not as likely, but he'll be there. So you don't have to do all that. So the Rockets want a first-round pick for Eric Gordon. They want a first-round pick. So, I think they're kind of holding out for that since February. Didn't get it in February. We'll see if they get it now in June or July. So we shall see. But the money got to work. Like I said, excuse me, Eric get, I think, $18 million this season, $20 million and change next season, but the next season is non-guaranteed. So Terry Agent, not the first person. There's somebody else who said EG to the Sixers. And months ago, we somebody tossed out and I seconded it, Eric to Phoenix if Chris Paul wants it. But then it's a question of would Phoenix want to give up a first round pick for Eric Gordon? But the Rockets want a first round pick for Eric Gordon it's a question of is a team willing to give up a first round pick for EG? I think I put this up. I think Dennis Schroeder, should probably, especially if you trade Eric Gordon, I think the Rockets would need some veteran leadership in the backcourt. Dennis could provide that. But will Dennis get a better offers monetarily from somewhere else? And how much would the Rockets want to pay Dennis for Dennis to come back, knowing that most likely the Rockets are not going to win a lot of games again this season. So if he has a chance to go to a playoff / championship contending team, I think he's going to do it. Because the Rockets, it might come a point he might get more money from the Rockets, but it's going to be less wins. So then he's got to trade, what he wants: more money, less money, more wins, or more money, less wins. So who else likely to be traded outside of Gordon? I mean, of consequence, who else is there? John Wall. John Wall. Come on, John. John. Come on, John and John's people. Agree to a buyout. John, I mean, anything can happen. It only takes one. Y'all know that. Y'all follow sports long enough. But I don't see a team trading a pick for John Wall. Okay? I don't see that happening. I don't think anybody on here does either. So, John, agree to a buyout, young man. Agree to a buyout. Go somewhere, sign with another team, and get a chance to play. Come on. Let's make this happen. Jae'Sean Tate, it's possible. But like I said of consequence. I don't consider Jae'Sean Tate of consequence going forward. So, no, I don't. Because to me, of consequence, that's Jalen, Alp, and Scoop. So, other than that, David Nwaba is not of consequence. Bruno is not of consequence. Garrett Matthews, no. No. Is there a chance for Tate? Sure, there's a chance. Yeah. Jae'Sean is on a very, very friendly contract, salary-wise. Yeah, even his salary holds like $2 million, whatever it is. Yeah. But that's got to be a package trade. And if Christian Wood, unless they combine it into make it a 3 or 4 team deal, Jae'Sean's not in the Rockets Mavs deal. So Jae'Sean would a team want the 26th pick and Jae'Sean Tate? No, I don't know about that. Tate regressed last year. 3-point shot let him down the stretch, and he's worked on that this summer. He's improved it. He's modified his shooting motion. It's looking good right now. But, the Rockets could probably get somebody better talent-wise, probably in this draft. If they believe Jae'Sean, they can trade Jae'Sean for something going forward. KJ Martin, this summer, he needs to work on his handles, work on his offensive bag. He's got to do more than that. But KJ has to prove to the Rockets that he's worthy of starters minutes. Right now, he's not. He's got to show that he is. Alp. All these youngsters, the Rockets have, from their young core, 3 starters. And you could debate about one of the 3. Heck, some of y'all debate about Alp being a starter. Jalen Green, for sure, starter. Alp and Scoop. Oos is not. Paolo will be. Assume he's a 3rd pick. But other than that, the young core, Josh, Christopher, not a starter. He could possibly become one down the line, but do you want him to start over Scoop? So, but it's a question of they got some solid foundational pieces as starters. They got more pieces for as bench players and guys who could make up a solid bench. But they don't have enough guys who can be impact starters. And that's another thing that this draft will provide with that third pick. Summer League, I thought about it with August, Vegas, late July, August. I almost looked it up and I got distracted and didn't look it up. But I think late July, late July, Vegas Summer League. I think California League will start like a 4-team in California in the Bay Area. And then Vegas. And I think with Utah, Denver will have one. A few teams there. And then Vegas will be the big one. Hey, thank you, JT Hines. There you go. So good chance there to watch some folks. Josh Christopher's playing the Marcus Smart role. Hopefully he can do a little bit better than Marcus Smart. Because, Marcus Smart, and neither is Josh Christopher, but Marcus Smart is not a point guard. Okay. And Josh Christopher is not. Both of them we saw in the finals. Marcus Smart struggles. Celtics struggle offensively. Marcus Smart struggles in the half court. Draft on Thursday. And it's on ABC, ESPN, 7 o'clock Central. Fluff for an hour. So maybe 6:30 to 11. Could be a long night for the media. And I'm hoping Rafael will probably talk to the media Thursday. In years past, we would have in-person discussions after the draft ended. And sometimes that was not till like midnight or 12:30. And then COVID and then Zoom. So I'm not sure how they're going to handle Thursday in terms of media. And then they'll should have a press conference Friday afternoon with the newest Rockets, the newest draft picks. So probably afternoon rather than morning, which is good because I have a doctor's appointment in the morning. So let's go with that. So Rafael Stone probably have an initial media session after the draft, late Thursday night, early Friday morning, and then the newest Rockets draft picks talk with the media Friday noonish, 4 o'clock, whatever. So Marcus Smart is better at the moment. Oh yeah, for sure, better than Josh, no doubt. But Jacob has only been in league a year, so better right now, Marcus Smart. Long term, could be Josh. The Rockets, I think Rockets can play in all the. No, I think some are designated, like the California one is just for. I think the 4 teams already picked. I think it's the Warriors, Lakers, Kings, and maybe the Clippers. It's like a California League kind of thing. So no. John Wall and the Celtics. A happy John Wall, he could fit on. He could provide something that Boston needs because point guard play was really lacking. After Derek White had magic in game 1, he didn't do squat the last 5 games. So you saw him hesitating on his shot and not finishing around the bucket. And, like Steph stole his soul. So after game 1, but Tim, what's wrong? What's wrong with this for one more year if it means the Rockets get the first pick in the draft and get, as in 2023, and get Victor Wembanyama? What's wrong with that? And then have so much cap room next summer. Next summer, Rockets should be really rolling next summer. Williams combo guard. Let's see what Williams talking about. Jeremy Sohan could be the best defender in the draft. I think his media session is not until Tuesday. I think. Let me see if I can pull that up a little. Let's see. Yeah, Monday we got Jaden Ivey, Johnny Davis, AJ Griffin, Tari Eason, Jalen, Mark Williams, and Chet. And then Tuesday is Dyson Daniels and Jeremy Sohan. So we'll see how many of those young men get Rocket-rated questions via colleagues. I might see if I can join. Probably not. Still finalizing details and stuff with the funeral, so probably not. But let's see. Space, you talking about Vic as in Victor Oladipo? I doubt it. Malachi Branham at 17, yes, and thank you for that. So let me, because it's about 40 seconds. 2 questions that Malachi had were asked about the Rockets. Answer's pretty generic, but I'll let you hear first. Not first, but let you hear it during the show here. So here we got comments from Ohio State's Malachi Branham from Friday's virtual media session.
I can see my fitting in Houston very well, actually. Like you said, they got young guys. They get out and run. And like I said, my shot making ability. And also just being able to do what I can on the court to help the team. People. That's what I've been focusing on this process, actually, just being stronger on the defensive end. Just making it tough on guys, offensive players. So, like you said, being a 3-and-D guy is very important and valuable in this league.
Thoughts on that? So, Malachi Branham, I like guys that like defense first. Defense first. If that's your mindset first, I can work on your offense. We can work on your offense, But if you don't want to play defense, can't be on my team. You have to be just sensational offensively if you don't want to play defense. Like you just run from it. No. Malachi is 6'5.5" in shoes. Standing reach is 8'6.5". So he's a wing. He's got 6'10" wingspan. So there we go there. 6'5.5" in shoes, 6'4" and change without shoes. But of course, guys don't play without shoes. So, he likes to play defense. 6'10". So, yep, I've seen Malachi at the Rockets for some mock draft at 17. Like I said, the outlier to me was Walker Kessler at 17 to the Rockets. Boy, I'd be shocked. Shocked. Rockets bench next year. Let's see. Rockets bench. Well, hopefully at some point we'll include Jayshawn Tate. And you have Paolo and LP starting. May not be immediately, but Jayshawn Tate, J-Gup, probably the 17th pick, 26th pick will be in G League, Usman, Garrison Matthews, and maybe Dennis Schroeder, maybe. Is Malachi better than Tari Eason, JT? That were you asking? Well, I think Tari's got more height or length on Malachi than, let's see. Yes, he's 6'8" in shoes and 8'11" wingspan and 7'2". 8'11" standing reach and 7'2" wingspan. And he's got some, if I remember right, huge hands. I think he measured, his hand width is 11 inches. We're talking Kawhi Leonard hands. So I think Tari Eason defensively is better than Malachi. Offensively, Malachi is probably more consistent than Tari Eason. So my first choice, I think, from a long time ago doing these streams, I think Tari Eason was my pick at 17 for the Rockets. I'm going to stick with that. Oh yeah, Drew Timme's body fat was 12. Well, no. Let me get it right. It was the highest in Chicago, 15.7. Walker Kessler was second at 14.7. Ron Harper Jr. was third at 14.3. So, yep. And Trevor Keels from Duke was fourth at 13.5. So, yeah, since Drew Timmy's back with the Zags, Walker Kessler, I have to go back and see what Kenneth Lofton Jr. was from the Chicago, the G League elite camp. But I'm not sure it was 15.7. It was up there, but I'm not sure it was that high. But yeah, Walker Kessler, 14.7 body fat, different kind of player. He's just, I don't see, he's not a Rocket kind of big man. So let's see. Justin asked, this is off topic. Do I think Curry's top 10? No. Nope. Kenneth Lofton's in the draft. I still haven't seen him in any mock drafts, but he's still in the draft. I wish him well. I'm not going to get into his agent stuff, but have not heard good things about his agent. I'll just leave that alone. I hope Junior knows what he's doing. And I wish him well. I wish him the best. Yeah, I'm kind of curious to see. I'm not curious, but how the young man who's a fashion plate, starting their brand. Draft NBA draft night is another chance to strengthen their brands. So we'll see how some players handle that. And in the NBA's, what NBA has, NBA Fits, whatever, that little side hustle that the league has now with NBA and WNBA fashion. I'm too old to care. But Andre, that's kind of harsh, man. I think Jaden Ivey's a bust. I won't go that far. He just got a lot to work on. Scottie Pippen Jr., last few days I've seen his name tossed around, possibly late first round, but he's still second round pick. I think he's versatile. Defensively, he's not his dad, but he's got ability. And that statement right there, whoever the Kings draft will be a bust. It's the Kings, man. There's a reason why they have not made the playoffs for 17 straight seasons. Could this be the year that finally changes? I don't believe they're going to keep the pick, the fourth pick. They need to trade it and get somebody who can help them immediately, a veteran. But it's the Kings. So there's a reason why they have, ever since they got rid of Rick Adelman years ago, they haven't done squat. So Kings will do King things. There you go. No argument for me. But fourth pick could be, if they don't draft Keegan Murray, helps the Kings this season, has more of an impact for the Kings this season. Long term, he probably doesn't have as much of an impact for them. I still think the Kings should trade that pick for a veteran who will have an impact for them this season if they really want to make the playoffs. But that's the Kings. So, James, talking about Jabari Smith being a bust? Disagree, but that's okay. We'll see. Let's see. Would I rather have Sharp or Ivy on the Pistons? I've gone back and forth on this. Probably Shaedon Sharp. Because I could argue that I see my man's name right there flying around. Detroit maybe already has Jaden Ivey on the squad. Great athlete and questionable shot. What's my man? I can see him playing today. Played with a mask a little bit this past season. Great athlete. Hamidou Diallo. There we go. But I don't believe Detroit's going to draft Shaedon Sharpe at 5. No. But of those two, I think they pick Shaedon Sharpe. But Rockets try to trade 26 for Daniel Gafford. That's interesting. Sharpe killing his own. Yeah, Shaedon Sharpe. And, I mean, there have been some questions he was asked about it. And you talking about generic answers. His media session was blah, 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 blah. He was asked about his workouts because there have been some leaks about he has not done a good job in workouts. And what answers, what feedback did you get from teams? My feedback was solid. Okay. Gary, you're late, man. I don't say we bash Christian Wood. I'll just say that no one here has shed a tear that Christian Wood will no longer be a Rocket as of June 23rd. So no bashing. Well, I think I bashed a little bit, but not too much bash because nobody here is missing Christian Wood. We'll miss Christian Wood. Shaedon Sharpe is the mystery man. Hasn't played, sat out the whole season. And even his answers about why he did not play for Kentucky this past season, his answer was kind of like, well, I wanted to do what was best for me long term, and I was working out every day. Okay, you couldn't play college ball and do that as well as working out every day. So that's kind of strange to me. But anyway, somebody is going to draft him. I still think he'll be a lottery pick. Then it's on him to make people, have that chip on his shoulder and, make people pay for who passed on him. Use it as motivation. So, we shall see. We could be a question here. Where to go? Could be hiding an injury. We don't know. He's a mystery, and he acknowledged the mystery because he said, I haven't played a game since high school. Well, that's your choice. You could have played in Kentucky, but you said no. So would I pack at 17 and 26 to draft Shaedon Sharpe? No. But somebody, he's well, let me say this. It depends on where I gotta go. If it's like 17, 26 to get to 5 or something like that, that's too high. No. If it's 17, 26 to get to 13, yeah, I'll do that. Yeah. If he's still there at 13, yeah. If it's like the 6, no. I don't believe he's worth that. But we'll see. He's got the skills. We had a comment on here about his competitiveness. Well, I kind of question. You could have played at Kentucky second semester and showcase your skills. The fact you decided to work out rather than play, that could rub some folks the wrong way. So, we'll see what he decides, what he does going forward. That's on him. But, potential is there. But like I said, he hasn't played a game in a year. And that's by his own choice. So we shall see about that. All right, good people. Cam Reddish and Tibbs just don't get along. Good luck to Cam Reddish as long as Tibbs is there, as long as he's there. Mo Bamba. Mo Bamba 3-point he likes to shoot threes. He is averse to the paint offensively. He got better this past season with Orlando. He showed signs of becoming a better all-around player. Depends on what he wants money-wise. It could be for a reasonable salary, a flyer for the Rockets. But Allen could be. Where'd he go? He could be right. But I believe that the Rockets, who is it? I think the Hornets have 13th pick, right? I think OKC has 12. I think around there, maybe. And they could get into some money and things like that already. And Boban, Rockets, the 4 guys that the Rockets traded, the guy from the Mavs, I'm not sure if those guys will be here come October. Boban's a great guy. Great guy in Detroit, fan favorite, wherever he goes. He's not a Rocket player. Rockets don't throw the ball down low enough to utilize him, and we all know he's not doesn't have quick feet. So defend on pick and roll, no. So I just don't. Trading 2 first-round picks for LP, I'd say yes. Right now, it's good. But Sterling Brown here, he could stick, but Sterling Brown would be a guy who plays David Nwaba, kind of in the rotation. Nwaba hardly played down the stretch, so those guys aren't going to be part of the rotation going forward. So yeah, no. All right, good people. Gonna wrap it up. As always, thank you very much for taking time for your comments, for your questions, your insight, some of your jokes. Koyo, I agreed. Duran would be a very good fit for the Rockets, and majority of mock drafts that I've seen, people that I trust, he could be there at 17, if not gone a little bit before. So maybe, like I said, if Jalen Duren or Mark Williams shot blocker is available at 17, that's who I like the Rockets to pick. If both of them are gone, then go with the wing defender like Tariq. So there we go with that. Going to wrap it up. Most likely, we'll do another Let's Talk Houston Rockets next Saturday, 9:30. Late nights are pretty good for now. Got a busy week. Have the funeral services for my mom on this coming Wednesday. So that's going to be a full day, emotional day for sure. So then the draft is on Thursday. So, and then Friday should have Rockets media session with the newest Rockets. And got a doctor's appointment on Friday. The stress of all this, these last few months got to me a little bit. But I'm going to get through it. Work and strive to make my mom proud going forward. So like I said, if you missed it, start of the show, my mom, Elizabeth Gardner, passed away on June 15th at 10:15 in the morning. She's the reason why I started the Houston Roundball Review, to give me more time to take care of her and her medical needs. That's what I've been doing most of my adult life, honestly. But I'm going to strive to make her proud going forward. And like the videos on the channel, spread the word about the content on the channel. Still got other things planned going forward with other colleagues on the playlist of the Houston Roundball Review. We got another sports show on Sunday, Folks Talking Sports. We'll talk some Deshaun Watson on Sunday, some Cougs basketball, and other sports. Folks Talking Sports with me Andy Yanez, Willie Gibson, and James Mueller. Tamer Knight, one of my mentees, is here. She got a job in Jackson, Mississippi. So she'll be covering Deion Sanders and Jackson State athletics for TV. For TV state, she got a TV gig. So that's good. And I'm glad to see that because my mentees are succeeding. And Giannis is doing big things. Had one young man reached out to me earlier this month for advice. So I'm just paying it forward for all those folks who helped me to get to what I'm doing, the point I'm at with the Houston Roundball Review. And one of the things they asked me to do is pay it forward. So that's what I'm trying to do with younger folks who ask me for advice, career advice. So I'm just paying it forward, and I ask them to do the same thing. Just pay it forward as you get older. So that's what I'm doing. I want them to do the same thing. So until next Saturday, for Rocket fans, should be some draft. I'm not sure how Rocket's going to do interviews and stuff on draft night. So Friday, look for that most likely. But sports fans, June 19th, Sunday evening, 6 p.m. Central. Tune in to this channel for the next edition of Folks Talking Sports. Rocket fans, see you next Saturday, June 25th, probably same time, 9:30 p.m. Central Time. And we'll discuss more Rockets. We'll discuss what the Rockets did on draft night. We can talk about grades, what I thought about it, trades, anything else happens, and go from there. Everybody take care. Enjoy the weekend. Stay cool as possible here in the heat if you're in H-Town in Texas. And see you next Saturday. Until then, peace.